And just when I thought I was done for the evening, I'm lying in bed at 1:30 in the morning, and AC texts me. And I know why he texts me.
Listen. I come out of the woodwork, brother. I just come out of the woodwork.
Well, see, I was doing my CWF podcast or radio show. I don't podcast. I do internet radio. I was doing the CWF after show tonight, and we had Jeremy Bryan on, who's helping organize their fan fest. And literally right before I was getting ready to call him, this story that we're going to talk about broke. And I asked him about it a little bit, and I could tell he kind of really didn't want to talk about it on that show. I mean, he did have some things to say about it, and it does impact the CWF brand a little bit because they air a commercial for, CWF Worldwide on there that features the Young Bucks, and they do the Too Sweet Me in this commercial. And their technical director, Grant Sawyer, goes, "We've already pulled it. We can't use it anymore. WWE will sue us."
Is that because of the you can't use the Too Sweet and all that?
Yeah, they look at the camera at the ad. They go, "Hi, this is the Young Bucks, and you're watching CWF Worldwide. But what you should be doing after you watch is go to ProWrestlingTees.com. We have like 54 designs. Choose some of your best ones." And they look at the camera and Too Sweet Me, and they do the symbol, the hand gesture, the click symbol. I find all this funny because late last year, about a little over a year ago, June 24th, 2016, Jeff LeBoon, if that's his real name, with some reporting by Dustin Wallace on WWE.com, they did an article called the quote-unquote, the Too Sweet, History of WWE's Most Iconic Gesture. And they have Finn Balor, or they have, this is back when
Wait, WWE or wrestling's most iconic gesture?
They say the article is called "The Too Sweet WWE's Most Iconic Gesture."
They say that, but I mean, a hardcore wrestling fan might say otherwise.
Well, Kevin Nash and them invented it, so it's that's where their basis of this is. And the title.
Yeah, they did, but they used it in multiple places. You get where I'm going here.
Yeah, I mean, so. Thing is, they used it in WWE. Kevin Nash then took it and went to WCW with it. WWE now owns WCW. So therefore, they own everything that WCW ever did, including IP, intellectual property,
and indisputable. That's indisputable. I'm just saying, as like a hardcore fan might view that differently.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
So they published this article here. This is back when AJ was with Doc and Carl, and they were doing the club. Okay, on WWE TV. So this is when they were doing that, and they did the Too Sweet Me deal. And it even mentions, Finn Balor is here. Nash claims he calls it the Turkish Wolf. That's what the Click calls it. Finn Balor says we call it the Too Sweet. Triple H is quoted in this article. The Too Sweet sounds very weak. So,
Triple H, who does this with every guy he signs.
Yeah. So here it is. So today, Being the Elite has been doing this for several months, where they've been saying that WWE, and this has all been fake up until now, but they've been saying that WWE slapped us with a cease and desist, saying we can't say "suck it," we can't do crotch chops, we can't do the Too Sweet, we can't say "Too Sweet Me," we can't say "Too Sweet" or any of that shit. They even went as far as to say Dusty Rhodes cannot have his last name, which that's fucking true. They said that WWE...
Cody Rhodes,
sorry. They've also said that they did this gimmick, and it even played out on ROH pay-per-view, I believe it was last weekend, talking about how they kidnapped Hangman Page, which is fucking funny, I think.
So that was kind of creative.
And here's what kills me. The fact that... And Dave Meltzer brings up a good point. If you're just an ROH fan and you're not watching Being the Elite, that comes off as totally fucking hokey and stupid, kind of. So, but newsflash to Meltzer, most of the fucking ROH fans are probably watching on the internet, watching Being the Elite. But
honestly, Being the Elite is easier to watch than an ROH TV show.
Yeah. So...
I mean, I'm not even being a hater right now, but let's keep it real. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Being the Elite is easy to find. It's right up in your face. And the ROH TV show is,
on a fight app.
And in my area, it's like if a Red Sox game runs over, you miss the ROH TV show.
But
so
now, well, you can download the Fight app and watch it for free, like 3 days after it is relevant. You know.
you can, and I get there's other ways to do it, but there's just some people out there that I don't know, they just aren't willing to, or just you get where I'm going with this. Like, it's easy to jump on YouTube and say, okay, let's watch the Being the Elite, channel on YouTube, and then when it comes to ROH, they want it easy, and they don't get it easy, and I don't like it.
So the point of all this is that this past Monday, the Young Bucks were in California after doing the pay-per-view in Vegas. I'm assuming that they did a show somewhere near Ontario, California, and there's a mall literally across the street from this arena that the WWE was at for Raw.
Right. And they had the big meet and greet with.
It wasn't even a meet and greet. They decided that they were going to go visit a Hot Topic, and they just put it out there on Twitter. Hey, we're here at Hot Topic.
Well, it was what? It was the Bucks, Marty Scurll, Hangman, and Cody, right?
Yeah. Hold on, give me 1 second here. I'm just trying to promote us here. So what happened was they. So what happened was they put out on Twitter. They just put out on Twitter, hey, we're going to be at this mall at this time, at this Hot Topic. Come visit us, Too Sweet Me, whatever. And they had, from what I was told, about 200 people show up.
I mean, it's not a bad turnout.
So then so then they decide, okay, well, Raw is being held just across the street. Let's get a megaphone. How they got a fucking megaphone? See, the fact that they had a megaphone tells me this was pre-orchestrated.
Pre-orchestrated, absolutely.
So
they clearly knew what they were doing here.
Yeah. So they take these 200 fans who are all wearing Bullet Club merchandise and Too Sweet Me merchandise and American Nightmare merchandise, and they decide to walk over to this arena before the show starts. And, of course, they're broadcasting this live on Instagram and Twitter and all the usual outlets. And they're talking about how let my people go. And it's basically spoofing off of when DX invaded Nitro.
Right.
Good idea. It's a funny idea. I popped for the video. I liked it, especially Cody's Independence Day speech, and that was pretty cool.
Let's get Cody's name back. Blah blah blah.
Let my people go. Talking about Carl and Doc, and they even mentioned Balor's name in there too, which I found kind of funny because he left all that shit to go to WWE. It was his choice.
Well, he needs the help.
So
he needs the help, but we'll get there.
But they. Yeah. But
hey, come on, let's keep it real. I called this how long ago?
You and Jeff both did, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they do this thing where they ambush Raw. It doesn't get any attention. WWE completely no-sells it, even though according to Meltzer and according to Brian Alvarez, Vince was said to kind of be pissed off by it. He didn't like it at all. And here it is 2 days later.
Based on what, though? Like, let's be honest. Based on what?
He doesn't like it because it's a bunch of fucking indie guys invading his shit. He doesn't like it. It's Vince,
dude. Did Vince, in our reality, did Vince really pay attention to it, though? Like, maybe he did.
One of his cronies peeked their head inside of Vince's bubble with an iPad and probably said, look at this, boss. Look what happened. Look at these indie guys invading you. And
yeah, but you know what Vince is probably saying, though? Their combined weight doesn't add up to that of, Brock Lesnar yeah, here we go.
So Vince,
forgetting names already.
So apparently WWE and Vince get pissed. And they're saying this has no relation to them invading, but I find it the timing of all of it kind of fucking funny. So they put an actual cease and desist letter, and this is legit because anything referencing Too Sweet Me, anything referencing the hand gesture is now gone from the Young Bucks' Twitter. They even debuted a new logo tonight with a Y lightning bolt B with a box or whatever. Kind of looks like if CM Punk's logo was mixed with the NWO logo. So they did that shit, and it was like, how do you like our new logo? So this is real. They've slapped them with an injunction that says, let me read this correctly here. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. And this is from, let me see here. This accordingly, as we said on the after show tonight, this is according to Ryan Satin of ProWrestlingSheet.com. The Young Bucks have been served with a legitimate cease and desist notice from WWE. The company is insisting that they stop using the quote-unquote too sweet gesture. WWE claims they own the copyright and demand that the team signs a document that states the intellectual property won't be used again. The company could possibly seek $150,000 or more in damages if the demands are not met. It's unknown if the Bullet Club and quote-unquote invasion prior this week had anything to do with the notice being sent. The team is looking into their legal options. In the meantime, they have debuted a new merchandise logo, which, to be honest with you, I like the Y Lightning Bolt B logo. And I don't know if ProWrestlingTees.com is going to lose a ton of money over this, dude. They're going to lose huge amounts of money over this.
Wait, hold on. Don't you think Pro Wrestling Teams is already hurting because of the Hot Topic deal?
Not really, because, I mean, what if you don't have a Hot Topic in your town? You know? What if you live in an area where the nearest mall is 50 miles away? You know? I mean...
I know I'm in the Northeast and I don't have access to the real world, but... Yeah, I'm just saying, it's like...
And you know this is real when the Young Bucks merch Twitter account retweeted the Pro Wrestling Sheet article. So this is real. This has to be real. They wouldn't retweet a dirt sheet thing like this. Young Bucks merch,
my question is, why now?
Because it's getting more and more popularity. It's at its peak.
Is it because of Hot Topic though? What is it? There has to be a reason behind it. You know what I'm saying?
WWE's merch is sold in Hot Topic, so I find that a little bit hard to believe. And even if it's not the Too Sweet Me hand gesture, they already have a new logo, which means Hot Topic's probably going to sell whatever Too Sweet Me merchandise they have in stock, and then this new logo is just going to replace it. They could still use the Bullet Club logo, for crying out loud. It's the Bullet Club logo that you see a lot more than this Too Sweet Me shirt, you know?
Right. Honestly, like, I agree. The Bullet Club logo, the Bullet Club theme is more of their deal right now than Too Sweet Me or the Crotch Chop.
But here's what kills me. Isn't that kind of their entire fucking gimmick when you boil right down to it? For the last 3 or 4 years.
I mean,
except for them coming out on ROH TV and super kicking a camera and the camera guy selling it, what else do they have?
Well, and let's, I mean, to your point, a lot of crotch chops, a lot of Too Sweets. You know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna rebrand this thing a little bit, it's gonna take some work.
Young Bucks merch, which I'm guessing is their official merchandise account, goes, if you already placed an order for something that has the quote hand gesture we do not speak of on it, you're still getting your order. So I'm guessing that this cease and desist, they've orchestrated a deal with WWE that says, hey, we have a certain amount of in stock. Can we go ahead and probably just push what we have out the door? You know, maybe WWE will get a cutback on it. Maybe they won't.
Or maybe the cease and desist is only for future earnings.
People are asking, you know, what about we have more of the pop sockets. We're just not sure when or where we'll be able to sell them. Is this the same issue for the leggings? And they're like, anything with that hand gesture on it, anything that says Too Sweet on it, anything that probably I don't know if they can do a crotch, if they can IP a crotch chop, or if they can IP the word suck it. But anything right now containing Too Sweet Me or that Wolfpack hand gesture, it's gone. They can never throw that up again.
Maybe just to the point where they know that the Young Bucks or Bullet Club as an entity don't want to fight that battle.
Yeah, I mean, so, well, why would you? Why would you want to fight McMahon over this?
Well, let me ask you a question. What brings McMahon to this point where he needs to take this extreme measure?
Money, dude. It's
but why? I see all this stuff on the internet, on Facebook, on Twitter, on all these accounts, and everybody says, "Don't worry about the lower attendance. Don't worry about the lower ratings. They have their own network, and they have their own this, and they're doing that, and they have Performance Center, and blah 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 blah." So if all that is accurate, why do they care?
Because they still make the majority of their money in merchandise too. You figure, even though it's low attendance, those people are sitting there still spending. It's all right. You go to a bar, right? You go to a restaurant, right? What's your hope if you're running a restaurant? That people will spend the same amount on their alcohol as they did their food, if not more. It's the same thing with WWE. Okay, we only got 15 people through the door tonight, or 1,500 people through the door tonight, but they're spending 35 a head on merchandise. That's why they don't care about attendance. That's why they don't. In the network thing, we could talk about. I mean, that's a totally different argument.
But Joe, my point is, if all that's accurate, if all that is accurate, why do they even care what the Bullet Club and the Young Bucks do?
Because, dude, they could sit there. Look who's doing it right now, Finn Balor. What if they decide to slap that hand gesture on a shirt and put Balor Club underneath?
Well, if it's that profitable, why have they not done it yet?
Honestly, dude, that I don't have an answer for. Man. Honestly. And even me and JD,
if their whole Balor Club idea is the end all be all, why aren't Doc, Carl, and Finn together? And when he has his big pay-per-view matches, he could come out as a demon. But for the rest of his time, why isn't he with Doc and Carl doing Two Sweets and all that other shit? They're not even doing it, and now they're coming after the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club and all that. I mean, honestly, I think it's like a slap in the face to Cody. I almost think like, all right, Cody Rhodes is out there. We're not letting him use Cody Rhodes on anything that is in some way profitable, but everybody knows he's Cody. So he's in that entity. So now let's send out our cease and desist. When the Young Bucks have been using a crop chop and a fucking Too Sweet Me for how many years? Why now? My point is, why now? There's no reason for it to be why now.
Not only that, it's not just a slap in the face. You got to think here. It's not just a slap in the face to the Young Bucks, because now nobody in New Japan can do this. Nobody in Ring of Honor or anywhere else for that matter can do this. So anybody, the entire Bullet Club, who was doing the Too Sweet Me sign, they're not just affected by, this is affecting Marty Scurll, this is affecting Bad Luck Fale, this is affecting anybody in the Chase Owens, anybody who is throwing up that symbol, that hand gesture. You can't do it anymore. And that's a big, big, big part of the Bullet Club's gimmick.
Oh, but my point is why now?
Because New Japan and Ring of Honor are starting to gain steam. That's why.
Are they really though?
Dude, Vince doesn't care how much. Dude, whether or not you see them as small.
Are they gaining steam, or is it the WWE just losing steam?
I think it's both. You look at these.
I think it's more the latter though.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it this way. You've seen the Twitter photos out there of people at Monday Night Raw and SmackDown this week. People were trying to fill the gaps in the crowd, and they were telling them to go back to their original seats.
Yeah, but this is nothing new, though. This has been going on for a while now.
Months, years. And Meltzer goes, they don't care about TV ratings. They don't care about attendance. The only thing they care about...
in fairness to Meltzer, and I don't normally take his side. In fairness to him, he's 100% right, because if you listen to anything Triple H says, he's 100% accurate. Triple H says TV ratings and attendance don't matter. we have our own network and people watch TV differently and we have our plan and blah, 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 blah. And we do this and we do that. And you know what? In their business model, maybe they think they're right. But at the same time, if they're right and the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club are supposedly the little guy, why are they going after the little guy? They must feel like these guys are taking some chunk of their profit away in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. Or that they're looking.
Yeah, but
at
do
this
you
going,
think? But I mean, honestly, Joe, do you me and you have gone to bat a million times about the Young Bucks and everything they do, but do you really think they're taking a chunk of the WWE profit away? I mean, as a Young Bucks guy, I mean, I'll be honest, I've been kind of like, not into pro wrestling in the last few months, and I haven't watched much, and I'm behind and everything else. But at the same time, as much as I love the Young Bucks, am I gonna sit here and be like, oh, they're taking a chunk of the WWE profit?
No,
I don't know if I can say that, but they're reacting to it for a reason.
Here's the thing: they're maybe not be looking at it from a standpoint of, is this taking money away from us? They're looking at this from a standpoint, and again, I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just looking at their perspective of it. They're
Absolutely.
looking at this going,
I'm looking for a reason.
Some flunky got in one of the higher-ups' ears, which then brung it up to McMahon, because McMahon lives in that damn bubble of his, and he probably didn't even know this was freaking happening until probably 6 months ago. Let's face facts here.
If that.
So he looks at it as, goddamn, pal, we were doing this first. Our stars were doing this first. Why aren't we making money off of this? Send them a cease and desist. We own it. It's the same thing, and a lot of people.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna send a cease and desist, are you gonna utilize it to your own benefit or what?
Or dude, it's the same thing as the damn TNA Hardy Boys thing, in my opinion. They're locking
Honestly,
it up.
They look as bad as TNA did for that one on this one.
They do, but the problem is their product is better and they're not as half-assed.
Right.
So I mean,
they probably have better lawyers too.
Yeah, I mean Jerry McDevitt's looking at this going, fuck, we can make you money off of this, and we can earn you a nickel anytime somebody wants to use it. I mean that's
my only point is, and it's not to disparage WWE and take the sides of the Young Bucks. All I'm saying is, this is like nothing new. Like, what changed? So if you're going to come out here as the WWE and as Triple H and as Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon and whatever, and say that your business model is thriving in this TV market and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, why does the little guy scare you that much? It just rings to me that there's more at play here. Like, they're like, damn, these guys are making a mark. They are cutting into our profit margin, and we need to put a stop to it. Now, if that's their take on it, I wholeheartedly agree with it. I just think the wrestling business as a whole is headed to a place they really don't want to go. And you know what? You could make a big deal about, an impromptu Young Bucks and elite, sighting in a mall in California, and 200 people show up.
I don't think
and you could do a mall, you could do a Raw takeover outside of the building, and they could, get the too sweet woo woo, too sweet woo woo. They could get all that going. But at the end of the day, I just think pro wrestling as a whole is headed towards a not so profitable future.
Here's another thing too.
And Vince McMahon is going to expedite that for them.
Have you seen the picture of Vince? There's been a thing on the Bruce Pritchard show that Conrad Thompson, the host of the show, has always brung up the rumor about Vince having a giant portrait of himself in his house. Well, now there is a photo. It looks like it was taken in the early 90s because Vince is sitting is wearing one of those god-awful 90s tracksuits. And he's sitting in his den on a couch reading a magazine, and above him is a painting of himself, okay? And he's got like this giant-ass bull mastiff on his damn thing, and there's this picture of, it's that picture on the right, And on the left, it's a picture of Kenny Omega holding a cease and desist letter with Nick and Matt Jackson. Look, I tagged you in it. You can go check it out. They're looking over his shoulder with these faces reading this, and it says, "Attention Bullet Club. WWE is hereby putting Bullet Club on notice that Bullet Club must cease and desist use of fingers and hands, and on occasion, feet, or else... or elsewise suffer legal consequences by the victim. WWE. Signed, screw you, goddammit, Vincent K. McMahon." And then there was another one that Meltzer posted where it's McMahon in the tracksuit, and you got the photo of him behind him, but instead of McMahon's picture, it's a 20-year-old Dave Meltzer's head on it.
Jesus.
That's fucking great. So I look at it this way. Does this really hurt them? No. Because they could still put Bullet Club, they could still put Super Kick Party.
Honestly, it may help them because
it's going to get them attention.
The idea behind their whole ordeal is they are, they're against the machine. They're the anti WWE. They're the anti machine, and you would think their fan base would rally behind them with this.
They're menacing little bastards that make a mockery out of the business and have made a business out of making a mockery out of a business. That's their gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if that makes whatever you said makes any sense, it's true.
It does.
But I get where you're going. Like in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is he saying? But at the same time, you're 100% correct. And honestly, I think they would 100% agree with that sentiment.
Says David Bixenspan on Twitter, given the overall ubiquity of the wolf hand sign, how much does it matter that the gesture was never called Too Sweet pre-Bullet Club? No, that's the wolf pack symbol, and I've said it all along. My shirt that I have...
Wait, hold on a second. Is that accurate, though? I don't think that's accurate.
Has anybody ever called it the Too Sweet Me? No. They called it the wolf pack symbol. Throw it up.
Yeah, but didn't they... Wasn't there a time where NWO was too sweeting each other?
Yeah, they were saying too sweet, but they weren't calling that hand gesture the too sweet hand gesture.
But they were doing it while they were saying it. Were they not?
But the thing is, that sign was also, you had Kevin Nash going, "Hey, whatever town they're in, wolf packs, throw it up," and everybody would throw up the hand gesture.
But my point being is, they too sweeted each other while doing the same hand signal.
Yeah, I mean, and if you read. And this
listen. If I go back through my brain here, and I don't necessarily want to quote myself on this because there's been a lot of chemical imbalances in this brain. But come on, dude. Like they're like people too sweeted each other with that same hand signal a long fucking time ago.
Since 96.
And you listen, I'm on the fucking Bullet Club side. I'm on the Young Bucks side. But the idea that they're the first ones to too sweet each other is just not accurate.
I think their deal is I think what David Bixenspan is trying to say here is that hand gesture was never called the Too Sweet Me. They never ever said, and never ever.
It wasn't, but people did it and too sweeted each other at the same time.
Did Hogan
You're getting into semantics there, though.
But
Come on.
Did Hogan, prior to the Bullet Club using it, and again, this is me helping the Bullet Club here. I can't believe it. Did Hogan ever...
We're on opposite sides of the argument right now.
Did Hogan ever walk up to Nash in 1998 and go, "Too sweet me, bro"? No, it was throw it up. Too sweet. And that was the wolf pack.
While you're doing the same symbol, though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I understand the idea that they never called that the Too Sweet, but they did the exact same.
That's like me
gesture. It did the exact same fucking too sweet.
That's like me doing a crotch chop, and instead of a crotch chop, I'm gonna go fluffernutter.
I'm not disparaging. I'm not disparaging the Young Bucks or the Bullet Club for using it. I've been on their side since day one, right? I mean, how many arguments do we have in this in the same realm as all that? But the idea that they somehow came up with the, this is too sweet. Come on, bro. Like whether it was actually defined as the Too Sweet Me sign in 1998, it was the fucking Too Sweet Me sign. Come on, give me a break.
I look at this, it would be like if I went out there
and honestly, why is this the Wolfpack sign? Why is this called the Wolf? Like, Maybe I need an education
It
on
wasn't
wrestling
even the
history.
Click sign.
But why is it the Wolfpack sign? What NWO and the Click came before the fucking Wolfpack?
Well, yeah, that's what Kevin in that WWE article. Kevin Nash said that they used to throw that up at each other as the Click when in
Right,
WWE.
that's my point. The Click was first.
Yeah.
Then you had NWO. Then you had the Wolfpack, and now everybody says it's the Wolfpack sign. And I have arguments with my friend D. Smitty. Perfect example. He's like, that's the Wolfpack sign, and I'm like, nah, dude.
That's the Click.
That's the Thank you. That's the Click. I'm the first guy to tweet somebody Bullet Club shirt, blah blah blah. But the bottom line is the fucking Click used it before the Bullet Club. Yeah. They used it before the Wolfpack. They used it before NWO.
You just made WWE and Vince McMahon's argument for them. The only thing that you have a stand on with that is why now.
Right. No, I don't disagree with their argument.
They own it, but why now? You know, it seems a little shady.
Why full court press now?
Competition.
That's my only question. And honestly, I think I have an answer to why now.
What's that? Well, why now?
Did you see the pictures of the attendance at SmackDown on Tuesday?
So, do you think that they're going to start pushing it and do their own version of the Bullet Club now? Because if they do, and now after what they've done to the Young Bucks, it's not going to work, dude. It's never going to get over in WWE somewhere. Because they won't take it as far.
Joe, hold on. Whether it's going to work or not is irrelevant. They're late with trying it.
Yeah, about a year and a half too late.
Maybe more.
Hell, they did this article in 2016.
I honestly
been doing it then.
If they weren't going to do it with AJ and Doc and Carl, why the hell haven't they done it with Finn and Doc and Carl?
Mm-hmm. They're on the same brand.
My question is, listen, whether it works or not is irrelevant. Why have you not tried it?
Maybe
you're claiming it as your property.
Well, dude,
right?
Here's the thing, man. It's the same reason why they busted out that DX reunion that they did back in like 2010, 2011. It's in their will. They have it in their closet. They're just going to pull it out like that little black dress and try it on again. That's why. It's in their think tank, man.
Well, they're not going to use it now because we all know where they're going to head now. They're going to head back to the Shield.
Yeah. Could you imagine, though, the Shield versus the Club? That'd be kind of cool.
Why does the Shield just start you Too Sweet Me? You know.
Yeah, instead of the fists.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine the reaction on the internet?
Your blood would boil.
If Reigns is the first guy, like he's in the middle of the ring with Ambrose and Rollins, and is like, "Too Sweet Me, bros." I mean, honestly, I would actually watch. I want to see Vinnie Mac. This is what I want to see. I will watch Raw next week, and I will give you ratings, and I will put your show over. If you give me Roman Reigns in the middle of the ring with Ambrose and Rollins, Too Sweet Me, bros. If you do me the favor, because I love these little wrestling fan bitch ass motherfuckers
like me
to just go insane.
I would puke.
Yeah, but Joe, it would drive you nuts.
It would.
But but here's the thing. At least you have like a brain who would process what they're trying to do there.
Thank you.
No, yeah, but a lot of like probably your followers and probably people who are listening to me now, like, this guy doesn't know shit. They're probably like, oh, that would be the worst thing ever. I want them to do it just for you. Come on. How great would that be?
I look at it this way. If they were coming out there doing it this fucking week, who knows? Maybe they will. Maybe they freaking will, dude. And you know what?
What do you got to lose? What do you have to lose?
Have them go full bore with it. Unless they're trying to bring back DX versus the Shield. Oh God. Oh man.
Where are they? Like, let's be honest. Until you get to the Royal Rumble, shouldn't you be putting teams together for Survivor Series right now?
Yeah.
Like how many years are we gonna wait for that to actually happen?
Well, they're already putting the Shield together, and
Shield versus the Balor Club.
Right now, you know where they're going. You haven't watched. Do you know where they're going? They're doing the Shield versus this fucking Miz Taras bullshit.
I haven't watched, but I read something that said that's where they're headed.
Monday night, the closing.
That's gonna be Reigns is gonna win the Intercontinental title, and then they're gonna do Intercontinental tag titles versus Miz Taraj or some shit.
I guarantee, and that'll be what's on your fucking. That'll be a Survivor Series match.
I like the Miz. I like him in a scenario, but if Reigns is gonna be your top guy, why? I don't get it.
And what kills me here is that nobody on the indie scene can do this shit now.
I got home late Sunday, and I watched Reigns and Cena, and I liked it. I liked it, and I liked Reigns winning. It's way too late. It's the storyline was written 2 years ago, and they didn't do it.
Yep.
But they did it now. Okay, that's fine.
Well, not only that they're doing it now, it's the fact that they did it in front of. Here it was, and I said this on my review show that I did. Here I was, begging for that LA crowd to just shit all over both of them. If there was ever a match that I wanted beach balls and British fans doing the wave and fucking people chanting, "You both suck and you can't wrestle," I wanted that fucking smart mark crowd that after WrestleMania, they build this as a WrestleMania style match, but it wasn't a WrestleMania style crowd, which is what that match needed.
Wait, Joe, hold on for a second. So what you're saying is, you wanted the fans to shit over Cena and shit over Reigns.
Yeah, because they do.
But they didn't that night.
They didn't that night, and I was disappointed by that.
Are you surprised though?
No, because the fucking fans are two-faced pussies nowadays, man.
Okay.
I mean, dude.
I'm not gonna say. Listen, you took the words out of my mouth. You took the word. Listen, if you really can't stand Roman Reigns and you can't stand John Cena, you should have shit all over that match. You should have shit all over that program, and that's not what they did. What they did is they did what wrestling fans always do. Oh, the nostalgic cheer for John Cena so we could shit on Roman Reigns.
Yeah, and it's the same reason why I kind of changed my mind on the Young Bucks throughout the years, and that, they're making, they make a business out of making a mockery of the business, but hey, they did it their own way without signing a fucking contract. Where I've put the blame and shifted the blame is for, and guess what? It came back to bite all you Young Buck click fuckers in the ass, because Too Sweet Me is no more. The WWE fucking owns it. That's what you get for fucking putting over this garbage for the last 5 fucking years. So, fucking ha to all of you. That's what I gotta say. It's a self, but they're victims of their own goddamn creation.
Let's be honest, Joe. The rank and file of the WWE universe doesn't know what the fuck they want.
I don't think any fan knows what they want. Indie, WWE, whatever the case may be. I mean,
you could be correct by that.
So here's what kills me though.
So let me ask you a question. Did you have a problem with Brock winning over Strowman?
Yes, because I want that title off Brock as soon as fucking possible.
But here's the thing. It shouldn't be just about getting off Brock. It should be about Strowman being the monster they portrayed him as, right?
And did you see what he did after Raw Monday?
No, I didn't watch Raw.
The Raw ended with...
All I know is that it was Enzo, and they surrounded him and beat the fuck out of him.
And that was before, or that was after, so Raw's going off the air, and all the cruiserweights are fucking, are outside the ring, and all of a sudden you hear, Braun! And fucking Braun Strowman comes out and beats the fuck out of Enzo. The crowd's cheering their asses off. So I'm like, does this turn Braun babyface? In the meantime, after he does that, that's when the cruiserweights enter the ring again and form what all these, I swear to God, and I'm only seeing this out of the fucking pussy ass, I don't want to say it, but I will, feminist fans and all these 2017 pussies who are sitting there going, WWE had a bunch of guys go out there and form literally, this is what I read, a bully circle around Enzo. And I'm like, they're trying to turn the motherfucker heel. He's a goddamn heel. He's supposed to get his ass kicked like that. To call it a bully circle just further iterates my point of the sensitive universe trying to force politics into wrestling, and it's fucking stupid. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox now, AC.
Well, maybe when next time JoJo sings "America the Beautiful," they can nail during it.
Yeah, I mean, they can call that a bully circle, because that's a bully circle right there to fucking do that.
While we're on the subject, since you were Facebooking and tweeting me on Sunday.
How about that leg on that rookie, man? I did watch the game. Fucking Odell Beckham.
Honestly, I don't know what annoys me more.
Odell Beckham annoys you.
He drives me crazy.
Oh, man. And then to the point where your boy McAdoo, had to go up to him. Fucking stop.
Yeah, but he did it. Yeah, but that's not what he did. He was like smiling with him.
He's going, dude, stop. While Beckham is standing on the bench in Philly playing air guitar.
McAdoo might as well as took Beckham balls deep on the sideline during that game.
You're right.
Listen, I try to keep it real. I try to keep it fair. And I'm the biggest fucking Giant fan you will ever meet. I watch every down of every game. I get insane about it.
My brother
I look at trends. I get insane about it. I get insane about the New York Giants football. I can't take Odell Beckham Jr. anymore, bro. I can't do it. If I'm John Mara, I'm not paying him. I'm not doing it. I'm not franchising him. Let him walk off into the fucking sunset he thinks he's gonna create for himself by not being a team player, by being a fucking jackass.
It was a good game. The thing is, it was won by penalties.
Hold on. It was a good quarter.
Yeah. It was won by penalties, though. That whole game, it was won by that.
Because the Giants are a fucking joke under Bob McAdoo.
It was won by unsportsmanlike conduct calls and those repeated pass interference calls.
Well, because Eli Apple can't cover anybody.
Yep.
And listen, when it comes to the Giants, I'm a realist. I'm the last person to protect that football.
I'm a casual fan.
I will root for the Giants. Listen, bro, I will root for the Giants as hard as anybody roots for any team that they root for. I'm all in. I'm all in with the Giants, but I keep it real. Like, what am I watching? What the fuck am I watching? Come on.
My brother-in-law, my girlfriend's brother, is the hugest Giants fan I know besides you. And my girlfriend cuts his hair every so often. So he came over here for a haircut the other day. And the first thing I did when I saw him, I went, how about that leg on that rookie? Because that was a hell of a kick.
Oh, that was tremendous. The kick was tremendous. Listen, he could kick that kick 99 times. He probably miss it. He probably missed it 98 of them, but he made it. You got to live with it.
When he made that, when they went for it, I was like, "There's no way he's making this. We're going to overtime." And then he fucking made it.
I thought the same fucking thing.
And then he fucking made it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And then he got his hero send off. They carried his ass off the field as they should have.
He earned it. He earned it.
A rookie quarterback doing that? Fuck yeah, he earned it. I'm not a huge fan of football. In fact, that's probably the first full game I've watched in about 5 years. But I was sitting there going.
The funny parts of it were you hit the nail on the head every time I was going ballistic.
I was like,
because you're like, AC probably needs a new TV right now.
Like,
AC needs a new coffee table.
I was like, if anybody is donating, AC needs a couple end tables and a new TV.
It was fucking 100% accurate.
Because I'm sitting there going, he's fucking livid. He's probably pounded about 2 12-packs by now.
The honest part is like I've been working so much. I was sitting on the deck with my parents. I was at my parents' house, and we had a lot of hot weather because of the back ends of all the storms and all that. So we're sitting on the deck watching football when normally we'd be down in the man cave watching it. And I'm having a little drink or whatever. I'm relaxing because I'm fucking tired because I'm working my ass off. But at the same time, I was miserable watching that game. Miserable.
You know what I get out of that statement? Is that AC's allowed to drink around his mom. I got to come up there and party with with Mama Cool.
Yeah, I
Did
could
you
I
buy
could drink
your?
around my mom as long as I make her cocktails for her.
Yeah, there you
Because
go.
my aunts, and all my girl cousins think the fact that I'm a bartender means that I need to somehow
Be the
fucking
bartender at
make
every
all the
holiday.
cocktails
Yeah.
for them. We have these family parties and I get stuck bartending the whole
Yeah.
time, and it's like, no, that's my job. I want to have fun now.
Does your mom ever throw a cocktail at you and go, too sweet, bah, bah, too sweet?
I wish.
So did you buy your mom a new TV after you threw it off the deck?
No, well, my father has a new TV we bought for his birthday
Ah.
in the man cave, and we did not watch that game on it because we were outside.
Oh man.
We did, however, watch the second half of Green Bay and Cincinnati. Me and my father did
Cincinnati won that
on
one,
the
didn't
new
they?
on the new 50-inch. We did watch that.
Cincinnati won that one, didn't they?
No, Green Bay
Green
won.
Bay did? Okay, I was about to say Grant Sawyer might be with
Cincinnati
you.
should have won, but Green Bay won.
Grant Sawyer is a huge Green Bay fan, so I'm sure he didn't toss any furniture around.
So let me ask you this while we're on the air, without getting too political.
Oh, the kneeling.
How do you feel about?
Here's how I feel about.
Everybody calls them kneel downs, but I saw kneel downs. I saw men sitting, and I saw one individual
standing in the tunnel,
stretching. Well, him too.
Yeah.
But I also saw one stretching during it.
This is why I don't watch football anymore. Because
why
are we giving this any? What does this have to do with the game of football itself? Does it have any effect on the team stats? Does it have any effect on their ability to pass, throw, punt, kick, run, tackle, whatever? None. Does this have any effect on does this have any effect on the score of the game? None. Why are we focusing on this?
But Joe, here's the problem.
Why is this a thing? This is why I can't stand football. It's more about this shit than the game.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The president of the United States made it about that.
It doesn't matter, man. That's why.
No, it totally does matter.
The ultimate defiance would be for these networks who claim to hate him, and for these players to do business as fucking usual and no sell that motherfucker.
I honestly, they obviously took the opposite. Here's my deal on the whole thing. And I don't want to go too crazy into it because I feel like Jeff and I are gonna do a cool truth in the next couple of days to kind of get into the teeth of this thing.
Me as a casual fan, I'm looking at this going, when Bryant Gumbel and James Brown and Terry fucking Bradshaw and all these are now being turned from sportscasters into CNN political commentators, there's something wrong with the sport. That's the end.
But here's the deal, and I agree with you. I agree with your premise, but the problem with that premise is this. The president brought this on.
But here's the thing, though, man. Why do you watch football? Why do you watch,
It's an escape. It's an escape from all the daily life in the book. I agree, Joe, I agree with you 100%. And that's why I take issue with the president over this issue. Because here's the deal. Hold on. If you fact check what happened here, this all started before he was president.
Yeah, I mean,
this started when Obama was president.
Yeah, when it
with Kaepernick,
yeah,
and it was a guy here, a guy there, blah blah blah. Last year,
dude,
okay.
Last year,
hold on.
Teams.
Fast,
the high school team up here, the local high school team. I go to their games just about every fucking week. They had a couple of their players kneel. Okay. And the cameras
because they're following Kaepernick. They're following.
So then the coach, who is Farrell Edmonds, he's a former player. I can't remember. He's a former NFL guy. His sons are now playing. If you ever heard of Terrell Edmonds I can't remember. One of them just got signed to an NFL team. He originally wanted to be. The Chiefs originally signed him. But there was a clause in that contract that said if he was injured, they wouldn't pay him. So he turned down the Chiefs and went with another team. But anyway, Farrell Edmonds then goes into his locker room after that game and goes, from now on, we will all stand arm in arm. And if I see one of you kneeling, I will take you out. And not one player has knelt since.
On the high school level.
On the high school level, they squashed that shit because high schoolers.
I understand.
But
I understand, and I understand
this
all that stuff from last year.
This is another issue I have with the whole thing being made public and a big hullabaloo being made out of it. We're influencing our children.
But Joe, when the president makes it an issue, it's going. He took this thing to another level.
Yeah, I agree, but that doesn't mean the NFL has to sit there and sell it and focus on it so much. I mean, you have an hour to a 2-hour.
Wait, hold on. Let's play devil's advocate for a second. And I'm not even saying I totally agree with the NFL, but I'm saying let me play devil's advocate for a second. Let's say the Joe White YouTube network had 10 million subscribers, and somebody came out and said, "You know what? I don't like Joe White's politics. Don't watch that anymore." Are you going to defend yourself, or are you going to say, whatever? You're going to fucking defend yourself.
I'm going to say, ha, whatever. I'll block the son of a bitch that said it, and I'll never make mention of it again.
Okay, so you're defending yourself. The NFL, the president
There's a huge difference.
But hold on. The president put the NFL in a situation where they now have to defend themselves. Plus, he threw gasoline on the fire and made this way worse than it ever had to be. It was actually losing steam. Why did he choose week 3 to do this?
Because he saw nobody doing it in week 1 or 2. That's why. Maybe Kaepernick and a couple others were doing it, but here's my point, though.
Well, what you trying to hide, though?
There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference, though, in me going on Twitter and blocking somebody and just brushing it under the rug or just no-selling it.
Yeah, but Joe Kaepernick hasn't even been on an NFL team since this guy's been president.
But here's the thing, though. There's a huge difference in doing that, okay? And then you have a 2-hour pregame show and devoting an hour and a half of that 2 hours to this bullshit. You mentioned it. Mention it for maybe your first segment of the show. You get a couple interviews, blah blah blah, a couple camera shots of people kneeling, and you move on and you talk about the game. That's the way it should have been handled. Instead, we got an hour and almost the entire fucking ESPN show, and on Twitter I have to sit here and talk about it. We got almost a full fucking hour, I think it was, of them discussing who's gonna kneel and who's not gonna kneel. The only kneeling we should be worried about is on a kickoff when there's a goddamn touchback. That's it.
Well, let me ask you a question. When did that happen? Before Donald Trump jumped involved.
They did it for ratings. That's the only reason why they devoted such a large amount of time to it, is because controversy creates cash, and they went at it for ratings.
Yeah, but he gave them the opportunity, though.
Yeah, I mean he gave them the opportunity to do it, and you know what they did? By paying so much attention to it, they're jerking off Donald Trump by doing it. That's all they're doing. It didn't phase Trump one way or another, because Trump's such a stubborn asshole that he's probably smiling while he's flipping between CBS, Fox, and ESPN on that Sunday. He's probably beaming. And his PR people are probably beaming too, going, "We got him, sir." That's the way it is.
Here's my issue with the whole thing. What are they taking your attention away from by doing this?
To me, I want to hear about, injury reports. I want to hear about how this guy improved.
No. Yeah, but Joe, you missed my point. My point is, that's what you want to hear. You're not getting that, and he involves himself in this and makes this the number one topic in the world for this week. Why is your attention being taken away from something else for this is my question.
Well, the thing is because it's everywhere. It's unavoidable. When the press starts feeding it and starts making a big deal out of it, I'm sorry.
I agree. But my point being is, what are they hiding behind this? What are we not hearing that we should be hearing? And my point is, when they do this, they are taking your attention. They are taking your attention span and saying, worry about players standing, kneeling, stretching, sitting on NFL games when there's a whole bunch of other shit going on that your attention's not on.
Yeah, don't worry about the deal in Puerto Rico and the Florida deal and the Louisiana deal. Don't worry about the Russians.
In
Instead, we want.
fairness, though,
And honestly, Trump, you're right. Trump succeeded. He got your attention off of all the other bad shit he's done and is continuing to do. And instead,
aside from Puerto Rico,
well, he got your attention shifted from Russia. He got your attention shifted from Charlottesville. He got your attention shifted from every fucking negative other thing said about him. But no, the main focus was, never mind all the other bad shit he done. He's ragging on the American pastime. He's ragging on football. He's ragging on our football. And that, you're right. You're dead right.
Honestly, I agree with his premise. I just don't think he should have said it. But I agree with him.
The worst thing that man has right now is a Twitter account. Sorry, it just is.
Yeah, but that's never going to change. I agree with you, but it's never going to change.
Oh, it can.
It's not going to change.
Idiots at Twitter could very easily go click and shut his shit off, but they'll never do it because it draws them money. So,
well, yeah, but in fairness to him,
then they're going to be like, "Oh, you taking away." Trump's
yeah, but Joe, he can't wave a magic wand and fix Puerto Rico.
No.
And I get the sense out there that there's people out there that think that Donald Trump should wave a magic wand and fix Puerto Rico, and that Donald Trump should stay at this NFL thing, and it's all his fault when it's not.
No.
Because I was not a Trump supporter from day one. You could go on the 1640 airwaves, you could go on the 1650 airwaves, all the cool truths we did and everything else. I said about Donald Trump back in the summer of 2015 that he wasn't presidential. This isn't the right way for this country to go. Blah blah blah. I take no solace in being right about it. But in all reality, every guy's kneeling in the NFL, and the reason they're kneeling, it all happened when Barack Obama was president. All this stuff you're protesting against didn't even happen when this guy was president.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real for a second.
It's been going on for years now.
80% of the guys who kneeled and sat and stretched and acted like jerk-offs this weekend did it in spite of the president, not for any of those reasons. Colin Kaepernick should be insulted by what happened this weekend. Because where were you last year? When Colin Kaepernick was kneeling last year, where were you? You didn't do this till Donald Trump got involved in it, and you decide that you don't like your own president. Now you're going to kneel, but you didn't do it last year when there was 4 or 5 guys doing it, led by Colin Kaepernick. You didn't do it then when Donald Trump wasn't even fucking president.
Because it's the cool thing to do, AC. It's the pussification. It's the sensitive universe we now live in. It's the cool thing to do.
Yeah, but at least if you're gonna be that person, at least keep it real and be. At least know your history.
You're proving my
this
point.
Shit all happened when Barack Obama was president.
You're proving my point, man, because now it's this 2017.
I hope I am. That's my point.
It's this 2017 mentality where everybody might as well put a damn chalkboard, like a sandwich board, around their neck and write, "I'm picketing for this," or everybody might as well be born with a fucking picketing sign.
Hey, look at me. Like Jerry Jones on Monday. Hey, look at the Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna kneel before they start singing the Star Spangled Banner and before the Cleveland route, and make sure that camera's right on me, Jerry Jones. Make sure it's right here, because Jerry Jones is probably the most political person in the United States. He might as well run for fucking president next.
Or let's pull out the military card, because it's the cool thing to do, like what happened with fucking Baron Corbin. The dude was taking him toe-to-toe on the internet, right? About how he sucks and all this, and how, Vince McMahon doesn't think you're fucking cool or something like that. And then what happens? The guy posts a photo of himself in Afghanistan in uniform with McMahon going, McMahon didn't think I sucked back in 2000 such and such when he visited me. He was my friend. And I'm like, McMahon took a goddamn publicity photo with you. What do you think he's going to do when you're in fucking uniform? Flip you off, say, "Goddamn pal, get out of my way"? No.
Yeah. So if you show
It's
that
the
picture to that
sensitive-
guy, he remembers it.
Yeah,
And if you show that picture to McMahon, if he says he remembers it, he's lying.
So it's this, and immediately after that tweet got done, Meltzer picked it up and blew it out of proportion. And what happened to Corbin? He cashed in his Money in the Bank and lost. His push was all but fucking gone, and now he's in the fucking U.S. title picture when he should be WWE champion right now. He should be getting a chance. He should be getting a payday.
They've mishandled Corbin since the day he's come to the
No, dude. When somebody playing that military card and when somebody jumping on the 2017 I gotta have an agenda bandwagon cost somebody money and cost somebody a fucking job like that, could have cost him his job. That's fucking wrong. Because despite the end of the day, thank you for your fucking service, but you are not, nor how you ever will be, McMahon's fucking friend. He posed with you as a goddamn publicity stunt, so get your balls out of your fucking hand, quit jerking off. Thank you, have a nice day. That's what I have to say about that.
You're probably right about it, too.
Anyway, let's wrap this up here. So Too Sweet Me is no more unless you're a WWE star. Can't use we can't throw up the hand gesture. They're still going to be the elite. They're still the Young Bucks. They're still going to go elite, the elite. That's where they've been making their money.
The elite.
That's where they've been
too
chanting.
Sweet. Ooh,
See,
too
that,
sweet.
that, that, honestly, the Marty Scurll thing, that's not losing Marty Scurll money. He's still going to sell Bullet Club umbrellas. The people can still go
Listen,
at him.
If from where Marty Scurll was a year ago to where he is now, I mean, come on.
So, I mean,
let's be honest. Come on.
He's probably the only one making money off Too Sweet right now. And the crowd can still chant it. He can't stop the crowd from chanting it.
No.
Ring of Honor can go, please don't chant that all they want to. What are they going to do? Mute the crowd. That's all they can do. That's all they can do.
Well, I mean, if they have a crowd.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, I'm getting off here. It's 3 a.m. I'm going to bed. Thank you guys so much for listening to this.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll see you down the road.